And welcome back to another TED Talk Stamps. I am your host, Ted the Talking Stamp Collector. And jumping right into things today, I've got mail. I got a letter from Brazil. And it really was a letter. It's a whole page full here. And this comes from Rafael Sinis, who is a philatelist and a collector of military memorabilia. And not only did he send me a small packet of Brazilian stamps, he asked for my aid in a research project. He's in the middle of, which involves researching and analyzing postage stamps issued by both the Allied and Axis powers in World War II. As he puts it, he wants to compare not only the visual and symbolic language of the stamps, but also the broader communication strategies behind them, how they were used to raise funds, to spread propaganda, boost morale, and such. Like I said, he asked for my aid for any knowledge I might have in that area. Unfortunately, I'm pretty weak in that area and in all areas of postal history. So I'm going to reach out to all of my viewers. If this sounds like anything, if this is something that you're knowledgeable in and, would like to provide your input and help Rafael, leave a comment below and I will try to connect you to. I don't want to leave his email. I haven't asked his permission actually yet. So anyways, just let me know and I will refer him to you. So let me go ahead and just look at the stamps I got. I don't want to, even though they're mostly used, I don't want to handle them too much. So let's see, let's take a look at what we got. Yeah, let me just stick them down here. I believe we can see those all right. Let me just sort them out a little here and then I can get it close up. Like this. Mint stamp showing a parrot. Another mint stamp with a nice butterfly on it. What else we got? Another mint stamp. Hydroelectric plant. And let me go through these. Oh, I forgot to show you the details of the cover. I'll do that after I get the after I show the stamps. Flower, mint stamps, a seashell, an old definitive stamp, not sure exactly what that's depicting. It's a nice design. Oh, this is a nice one. It's another mint stamp showing a hot air balloon, airplane, and a rocket. Another space topical stamp. Another old definitive, another mint stamp showing a city. Can't really, my eyes are old. Oh, here's a engraved stamp picturing a lighthouse. And I like this design, but I don't know exactly what it is either. This is going to be fun, just checking these all out in the catalog, see what they represent. Let me see if I can get this in focus. Another definitive. And this one. Last one here. All right, so those are the stamps sent by Raphael. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm going to have fun looking those up in the catalog. Let me get back to the cover. This is the cover. See a nice striking postmark, cachet actually, which is for the Brazilian Expeditionary Force from the late years of World War II, who they operated in the Mediterranean theater. Their logo was that snake smoking a pipe, and they were called the Smoking Snakes. And the stamps on it are this issue from 2011, just calling attention to the direct marketing programs available through the Postal Service, and two different stamps shown here at the bottom on occupations. The top pair show a shoemaker, and at the bottom there's a shoemaker and a seamstress. On the back side, we have another cachet, and this is honoring the world champion FIFA Club World Cup champions for 2000 and 2012, which was the Corinthians soccer club. Now, what's the FIFA Club World Cup? Well, it's like the FIFA World Cup, only different. The difference being that the World Cup is a competition between national teams, while the FIFA Club World Cup are for clubs. You know, the various leagues. You got the, the regular leagues in various continents. So you have the European League with, your typical teams like Chelsea, goodness gracious, Man U, man. Except this covers all the various continental leagues, including Japan. So that was my mail for this past week. Let me put these back into safekeeping. And once again, to Rafael in Brazil, obrigado. Now, I thought, since we're on the subject of covers, I've still been sorting my stuff, and I've gotten all my covers together. These are various first day covers. I'm not a first day cover collector unless it's something special to do with me, like with my literature collection and my music collection. So looking first at the literature related covers, starting with this one that's not for a particular author, but it's on reading in general and libraries. This is honoring the University of Chicago Library, one of the great libraries of the world. And it is the oldest university press in continuous publication. And this is an Artcraft cachet. Many of you will be familiar with these. I love these. Artcraft is known for their engraved. Artcraft is known for their engraved cachets. In fact, most of these I'm going to show you are Artcraft cachets, starting with this one for Nathaniel Hawthorne. There's the Hawthorne stamp from 1983. Nathaniel Hawthorne wrote The House of Seven Gables and The Scarlet Letter. This next one is for Herman Melville, who of course wrote Moby Dick. There's old Moby. This one is featuring John Steinbeck, the stamp, and his books, Tortilla Flat, Of Mice and Men, and of course, The Grapes of Wrath. The next one is for Bret Hart. The stamp here is a $5 stamp from 1987. And Bret Hart was a 19th century writer, a novelist and short story writer. Probably his most famous short story is The Luck of Roaring Camp, which I have read in the past, but don't ask me to tell you too much about it right now. Here's one from Lithuania. And it's honoring the author. I don't want to even attempt the name. It's right there. You can see it. And it's for the stamp that goes along with it. Shows one illustration from one of his stories featuring this bear. Here's a couple of nice ones that I really like because the whole cover is the cachet. This one shows a Serbian writer who, I'm sorry again, his name escapes me. This one is from the famous, it's Serbian stamp, but it shows the famous Polish writer, a science fiction writer, Stanisław Lem. If you want to read some smart science fiction, he's the one you want to read. Not that there aren't any other, smart science fiction writers, but he is particularly. This I got from a Stampy friend, Dan Golden, a cover for bluegrass music. And then going back to classical music, here's one for classical composers and conductors. This pair being Leopold Stokowski and Arthur Fiedler, longtime conductor of the Boston Pops Orchestra. Here's a composer, Igor Stravinsky. His most well-known work is The Rite of Spring, a work, incidentally, which was so revolutionary at its time that it freaked people out, and people just ran out of the performance, ran out of the theater. They couldn't handle it. In fact, I'll leave a link to you below so you can see for yourself if it was worth raising such a fuss over. A couple more composers, conductors. Here's Samuel Barber and Fer de Graffet, who wrote the Grand Canyon Suite. Here's a Broadway composer, Jerome Kern, wrote the music for Showboat. A famous folk singer here, Jimmy Rogers, the father of country music. Back to composers and conductors. There is Louis Gottschalk and Charles Ives. Conductors, George Sell of the Cleveland Orchestra, very famous. Just about anything recorded by George Sell with the Cleveland Orchestra is worth listening to. And then on the right, this stamp here is Eugene Ormandy, a longtime conductor of the Philadelphia Orchestra. A lot of the classical music I grew up with, from the vinyl albums my parents bought, most of them were by Eugene Ormandy and the Philadelphia Orchestra. Next we have cover for Scott Joplin, the King of Ragtime. Here's a cover, not a first day cover, but a cover sent by a viewer with a stamp for Chopin up in the corner. Issued by Poland. And then finally I got 3 more of those Serbian covers. This one for Frédéric Chopin. This one for the Italian composer Giuseppe Verdi, showing a score from his opera La Traviata. And then the last one I have is for the Serbian conductor and composer Oscar Danon. He lived from 1913 to 2009. So those are my covers that go into my literature and music topical collections. And I'll have to get to work mounting them on pages, and I'll hopefully have something to show you next time. Well, not next time, but soon. So that about covers it for this episode. Next time I see you, I'm going to share with you my U.S. classic stamps that I have. I don't have a whole lot. For some reason, I came to U.S. stamps pretty late, except for collecting, modern stamps along the way. I'm talking like going way back to 1970s, 80s, and 90s and such. I was just more drawn to worldwide stamps, mainly because the stamps that I liked in U.S. were the older stamps that were out of my budget. now that I'm an old folk, and those stamp values have come down, and I got a little more discretionary income. In the last few years, I've started concentrating more on my classic US. So I will show you that next time. So stick around. Until then, this is Ted the Talking Stamp Collector wishing you all happy stamping.